President of the ESACO Club 81, Dr. Muamudu Dako, joins us this morning on Kakaki, the African Voice, as we look at the inauguration of the Club 81 Abuja chapter. And of course, also joining him is the interim chairman of the chapter, Honorable Usman Dauda. Thank you, gentlemen, for finding time to be here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let me start with the president. ESACO Club 81. What's this group all about?
Yeah, the group is actually a social-cultural club, and it was formed by prominent sons and daughters of ESACO living in Lagos in 1981 to take care of social-cultural challenges affecting our people.
All right, so what are those challenges? Since 1981 to now, has anything changed?
Yes, the club has actually undergone a lot of metamorphosis. Originally, it was formed as a pressure group to assist our people in the federal civil services. We subchanged, and with time, it has grown beyond that. Now, we have grown to a level where we now intervene in affairs affecting our people back home, natural disasters, and other things. So it has actually grown. It has metamorphosed to a very great level.
All right, Honorable, let me have you throw more light on those core issues that affect the ESACO people and how this club has been able to intervene.
Yeah, yes, the issues about in the areas of health. Very recently, the club had to intervene by, providing health care to our people, especially in the era of COVID. A lot of, palliatives were given to our people to enhance, the conditions of life, because we all knew what the COVID thing was. So in the area of health, they've been able to make provisions for some primary and secondary health, care system within the locality to be able for people to access, health, good health.
All right, President, does the mandate of this club include mounting pressure on governments, on the authorities, to look at the plight and issues affecting the people of ESACO?
Yes, really, it does. And as a matter of fact, it goes beyond the issues affecting ESACO. The whole of Edo North in particular has become our area of operation when it comes to such things. Only recently, we put pressure on the state government to look at the plight of our people as far as healthcare delivery is concerned. Because we observe that, of the three territorial districts in Edo State, where the least affected in terms of healthcare delivery, and no secondary or tertiary healthcare center established by government. And when we did that, the governor actually saw the reason, of our complaint, and he authorized the immediate conversion of our Central Hospital to a teaching hospital. And that will benefit all the people in Edo North, not just ESACO alone.
Honorable, let's get your appraisal, of what this club has been able to do, like the president said, in trying to get the government to address some of the issues. Affecting the ESACO people and perhaps the Edo people in general.
Yes, ESACO Club is the one, the president did mention, we are 40th, doing our 40th anniversary this year. In the areas of health, they've actually done a lot. To the best that we know, we are establishing, some, primary health cares in our locality. There's one that is coming up in Angwai, and the ROT Central Hospital that the president did mention now. We know how much we were able to put into that to enable it for training of medical students from Muamudu University. So in the areas of scholarship, we know the club has actually done a lot to scholarship given to indigenous students who are, span all over the country in our universities and whatever. Then in the areas of providing infrastructures, maybe in terms of education and otherwise, a lot has been done, you know, over time. So by the 40th anniversary that is coming up this year, that makes us 40 years in existence, the club is planning a lot to be done to be given back to society again.
Right, Dr. Dako, it appears that in the last 40 years, members of this club, you know, or the club itself, you know, have been able to institute certain humanitarian programs, as he rightly pointed out. How do you, you know, get funds, you know, to execute these projects?
Yeah, we generate funds from within. Members contribute. And you see, this is a club where every member knows that you are here to serve, and we are not actually looking for personal benefits. I mean, a lot of our members have actually contributed, I mean, a very big amount to make this happen. We are never actually solicited for funds from outside. And we have been generating only from within. And we are trying to build a cultural center now. We believe that if you are able to do that, that will also be a major source of funds for activities.
All right, we are talking about the inauguration of the club in Abuja here. Before we look at, you know, what led to the instituting of the ESACO club in Abuja, let's look at how widespread, you know, how many states are you currently in?
Yes, we have a chapter in Benin, which is our state headquarters, and we are actually planning to have chapters at Auchi and in the north in the next few years. We also have diaspora members outside the three chapters we have mentioned. Any state or any country that can give us, I mean, they can provide 2 or 3 or 5 members, we allow them to become diaspora members until such a time when they're able to have a minimum of 10 members. Then we set up a chapter in such a place.
All right, Honorable Usman, Dauda, talk to us about this inauguration of the Abuja chapter of the ESACO club.
Yeah, in fact, we are so excited for the club to have been, you know, come this far. 40 years in existence is not a joke. And from the moment the president, you know, did talk about the issues of diversification of the club, and the Abuja chapter thing came up, we saw the need that there's a need for us to galvanize our people up north here, because all that we know about the club is usually in Lagos, you know, and Benin recently. And we believe that if we do that, that can enable, you know, us to be able to get our people to be more aware of what this club is all about and the need for them to give back to society. Because there's nothing that will, you know, gratify any person more than when you give back to societies that made us. So we are very excited. 30th October, which is Saturday, 2 p.m., that is the time for the inauguration.
All right, Dr. Dako, 40 years in the life of a club is indeed a milestone. When you look at the journey in the last 40 years, would you say this club has made the needed impact, looking at, you know, set goals?
Yes, yeah, the club has. Really, I must actually give thanks to the founding fathers of this club. They laid a very solid foundation, and over time, the people that piloted the affairs of the club did a great job. I mean, you know what it means to remain in service for 40 years, even in marriage for 40 years. We never had, I mean, a lacuna during this period. We are getting stronger and stronger every day. We made a lot of impact in terms of human capital development. I mean, like we've enumerated earlier, I mean, in the area of health, in the area of education, and empowerment. I mean, the interim chairman, I mean, just told you about what we have done in education.
Yes.
Let me tell you that we've established science laboratories across the 3 local government areas. And this has made a very great impact on the study of sciences in our schools. We made a great impact, and ESACO Club of has become a household name in most of our communities back home because of that. During the flood disaster, the different flood disasters we've had in that area, we came in very seriously to ameliorate the suffering of the people.
Yeah.
We extended this beyond the circle. As a matter of fact, we extended it to our one as well. We made a very great impact and continue to make impact.
All right, just as we round off, let's give Honorable Usman Dauda the last shot. He has talked about achievements. I'm sure there are also challenges. Let's look at very quickly those challenges and how they can be addressed, just as we begin to wind down.
Yeah, challenges mainly has to do in the area of finance because nothing good happens without good finance. And like the president mentioned earlier, finances come mainly from members. So and in the areas of our diversification, we are trying to look at how we can get funding from international donor organizations to be able to meet up with the expectations from our people. So that's mainly one of the biggest challenges that we have. And secondly, the issue of membership. We are using this medium to call on our people to come out and let them come and be part of this process, because a credible organization like this can actually help to bring those expectations that will help our people. Because we do know that as organizations like, for instance, if you say Rotary, we know how credible those organizations are, and that is the level to which Issaquah Club 81 is. Our people should come out, let them give back to society, so that the club can be able to help our people, very well.
All right, many thanks. Honorable Usman Dauda, the interim chairman of the Abuja chapter of Issaquah Club 81. We appreciate your time on the program this morning. We also appreciate you, Dr. Muamudu Dako, the president of the Issaquah Club 81 Abuja chapter. Many thanks for coming.
Thank you.